If there's one thing that I've learned in the last 2 years, it is that, and I've learned many things, but one thing that just keeps coming back to me as I literally become a whole new human is that when you're looking to change your life, when you're looking to manifest your dreams, have a radical overhaul of your physical health, or you're striving for a promotion, career change, stepping out of a cycle with relationship patterns, and if you keep hitting a wall or you don't quite know what's holding you back, the one thing that I have learned, one of many, is that you have to become a whole new human. And losing the old identity, that can be the hardest part. If it's an identity, especially if it's an identity that you have lived with for decades, 30, 40, 50 or more years, if you've lived with that identity for most of that time, and you're looking to create a new identity, it's embodying that new identity that's where people get tripped up. So if you're looking to manifest a career change or a financial leap or a new harmonious relationship, either with a partner or with other family members, like it doesn't have to be limited to a partner relationship. It could be healing relationships with children, it could be healing relationships with parents, it could be healing your relationship with yourself. Like, you'll hear the manifestation teachers tell you all the time, act as if and embody it and all of that. But that's the hardest part. It's the answer, but it's the hardest part, especially if you're still living in some aspect of the old story. Still living with the pain that you're looking to get rid of, the health situation you're looking to heal, living with the financial situation that you're manifesting your way out of. And oftentimes there is some big downward slide before the upward slide comes. But those are the parts that many of the teachers of these things don't teach fully, because they're either ashamed to share how hard it is, or their own private experience, which is kind of understandable. You know, you don't want to take your own private experience out to the world to share, usually. So what they teach is the solution, which pretty much accurate and going to work eventually, but without anyone seeing the depths of that lived experience. And that's hard. And a couple of years ago, a year or so ago, I began to share some of what that lived experience was like, releasing old systemic stories that had been part of my life for a very long time, financial ones, along with like inner wounds that contributed to that. And sharing really helped at the time. Sharing my exact financial situation really helped at the time, because it it helped me to share it and put it out there. But I know that lots of people felt their own story within what I was sharing. But then the stresses that we found ourselves in, house moving, holding all the balls in the air, holding things together, holding the family together, all obviously took priority. And I also didn't want to keep saying like, this is the reality of the situation, this is how things are feeling, because it gets boring when things are just the same and the improvement is here, unseen, inside, and collectively with the family, like healing the relationships of the family as we found out more of who we were, connected in a more consciously connected way. But the more I've learned on that journey, my prosperity, wealth journey, my self valuing journey, my self-worth and self-esteem journey, the more I've learned, because the two are so deeply interconnected, the more I've learned on that journey, the more I've realized just how the things that most of us have been taught for a very, very long time are actually keeping people stuck in the old stories, whatever those old stories are: finances, relationships, self-worth, health conditions. We've been fed those stories for so long. They're part of us. They're also more than likely part of our ancestry and genetic makeup. And that's the whole bigger physical story to change, as well as the energetic and mental stories. And I've learned that so much of what we just go on to do every day, doing the same old thing, even when we think we're doing it different, and the over consuming that we do because it's there and because we can. It's just there. You go to the supermarket with a tenner in your pocket, and the supermarket's telling you you need 3 of these because if you buy a third one you'll get it free, and you know you only need one. So when you've only got room for one, you learn that actually you only need the one. And in a couple more days then you can get another one, and when you look at the prices, you're not often saving that much more in the long run, because you didn't need it, so you've overspent in the first place because you've been played. And we do it over and over again, you know? We do it over and over again because we think we need the things we need. And often we need a lot less. We need a lot less to thrive, not just survive, but thrive. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Taurus. I still want my like really nice, comfy house with like all the comforts that modern living can give us. I really, really would love a fridge again. Soon, before the end of the year, there'll be a fridge, and not just because the temperature's going to plummet. But anyway, that's another story for sharing on my like wild crazy life channel eventually. But most of us are too afraid to face what life might be like if you suddenly have nothing. If you suddenly lose everything that you've got. And the problem is when people lose everything they've got, some part of them looks to try and re-find it. Or if it's been in like some sort of tragic circumstance, for example, rather than stepping back and going, right, okay, let me just strip everything back and what do I need from the life that I've lost. Because usually there's a lot of trauma involved if you've lost everything in something like a disaster of some sort. If you have the chance to face that fear and strip your life back to what's really important, you'll often find that it's a lot less than what you've been striving for. And when you do that, you can often then look at ways to more fulfill your highest excitement and your dreams and what you truly desire to be having and doing and offering to the world in your life. And when you're able to do that, then you can be more enthralled by your life, more excited by life, and more joyful and happy and content in the things that you do in your life, so that you're like enjoying your life, so that you're not working. Because for me, this is the one thing that I truly, truly desire for people who are wanting to be of service, wishing, desiring to be of service in the world, to see and feel that when you call it work, when you call it a business, energetically, those words are making it feel so much harder than it should be, and so much harder than it in reality it will be. And that's not to say that, if you are self-employed and you are creating your own livelihood, there's not tough tasks that you have to take on, particularly in the startup days when you may be doing all the things for yourself. But if you can find creative ways to refer to those more challenging, less enjoyable, pleasant tasks, you will actually find them more enjoyable to do. And if you break them up even more, they're manageable. And that goes for other things in life as well. Drop the work, drop the busyness, lean into rest and relaxation and pausing and taking a moment to look at the world around you and the things that you truly value that are in the world, that you can see in the world. And hey, I'm going to say touch grass, because that's made the biggest difference in my life in the last couple of months. Like actually deeply immersing myself in nature in ways that I never ever would have imagined I'd do before. But seeing the world of nature around me blossom and bloom and grow and expand, and be there in the middle of it going, wow, nature just knows how to take care of itself and grow infinitely. No matter what is put in its way, it will continue to put out seeds and fruit and lay eggs and grow and expand and be more. That's the way of nature. And none of it is working hard. None of it is working hard. It's all just co-creating and existing together with the energy of the planet that we're on. It's amazing. And we're amazing. And we just need to have to release all of the stories and the old ways and the old patterns and the old beliefs of all the things, and really, truly be here inside that new version. Even when we're not sure what that actually is and what that actually looks like and don't know what that feels like, because we've been the old version for decades. But underneath it all, stripping it all back, going within, asking the powerful questions, really powerful questions of ourselves. That's when the change happens. It really is. And that's what I bring to people in my mentoring spaces, in my healing spaces. Even people who come to me just for healing have these phenomenal experiences where they radically change their life. They find out what they need to let go of their corporate careers, of their stories and patterns, how they really embody the new story that they're wishing to create, so that they can have brand new relationships that are nothing like previous relationships. They can shed body weight that's been holding them back for years and be more authentically themselves. That's what I bring to my mentoring and healing spaces. That is the beauty of what I offer to my clients and the people who come into my containers. And that's what you can find if you come to me, whether it's for 6 weeks. I do little 6-week intensive one-on-one space holding provisions. I do my group packages. That's clearly a new thing that I'm creating. My longer term packages of everything from EFT and aromatherapy to healing, multi-modality spaces. And yeah, there is group sessions returning to Soul Wellness Hub in a couple of months, September. Group EFT sessions and group containers. So yeah, if you would like to learn more about mentoring me or my healing spaces, then you can check them out on my website down below. And yeah, strip it all back. Really get honest with yourself about, if the worst happened, what is the things that you would be most sad to leave, most sad to lose. Oftentimes that amounts to your loved ones and nothing else. And that's the reality of it all. It's people. And the only reason why we think we need all of this external stuff is because we've been told we do. And oftentimes maybe invested quite a lot financially into it. And like all of that stuff that we've had, that we've bought and paid for, that maybe we're not actually getting to enjoy that much anyway, because we're working too hard at things that we don't enjoy or that don't light us up, or we're feeling so wound up inside that you can't enjoy it even if you've got some time off. And that's, yeah, strip it all back. It often comes down to our loved ones, our animals. One or two really, really, really important things to us. And maybe simplification of life would make all those dreams much more achievable and manageable. I'd like to know your thoughts. And more of this story is going to emerge in the coming days and months and time ahead. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you another time.